Do you ever wonder where we go after this? Are you high right now? Do you ever get nervous?
Happy Monday. Welcome to Modern Investing Techniques, episode 70. Today is June 8th, 2026. I'm Patrick, broadcasting from Vancouver. New week. Let's see what opportunities the markets are presenting. Quick reminder, everything we discuss here is for education and entertainment. The practice investment of the day uses simulated trades with no real money. I'm not a licensed financial advisor, and this isn't financial advice. Always do your own research before putting real money to work. AI-exposed TFSA holdings could rebound faster than broad indexes as chip and software names recover Monday's pre-market losses. Markets opened higher with the S&P 500 at 7,425, up 0.6%. The NASDAQ Composite sits at 25,932, up 0.9%. The TSX Composite reached 34,603, also up 0.6%. Sentiment is being driven by a partial recovery in AI-related stocks after last week's sell-off, while oil prices eased from overnight spikes tied to Middle East tensions. Canadian investors should watch how the TSX's resource tilt interacts with the tech rebound and any follow-through volume in names added to major indexes. The NASDAQ level stands at 25,932 with no year-to-date move available in today's data. Portfolio cumulative return and alpha figures show as unavailable in the current tracker. Index inclusion creates a mechanical buying wave that can produce outsized short-term moves even when fundamentals have not changed. Marvell Technologies' addition to the S&P 500 at the end of June triggered a 7% plus pre-market jump. This illustrates how passive funds must rebalance regardless of valuation. The strategy works best when the added stock already has sector momentum and above-average trading volume. It carries the risk that the move reverses once the rebalancing is complete. To implement, screen for stocks with upcoming index announcements using your broker's news feed or ETF holdings reports. Then size the position smaller than a pure fundamental trade because the catalyst has a known expiration. Historical data shows these inclusion pops have delivered the strongest alpha in the first 3 trading sessions after announcement. Risk management requires a tight stop just below the pre-announcement close once the initial surge fades. This is a simulated trade for educational purposes only. Today's practice investment is a weekly hold on LLY, Eli Lilly and Company, listed on the NYSE in the healthcare sector. The strategy is a catalyst entry on next-generation obesity drug data, extending market leadership. The hold period runs Monday through Friday. The catalyst is new retatrutide clinical data that analysts expect will widen Lilly's lead in the weight loss market. Shares are already up 4% in pre-market. Watch for a break above the recent high with volume above the 20-day average and RSI moving from neutral towards 60 on the daily chart. Place a stop 6% below Friday's close. The target is plus 3% to plus 6% over the 5-day hold. Confidence is medium because of the strong fundamental catalyst from the new data, but only one confirming factor so far. This trade demonstrates how to size a position around a single high-conviction data release while using a defined stop to protect capital. Listeners learn to distinguish between a news-driven spike and a sustained move by requiring volume confirmation on the entry day. Last week's simulated hold was on NVO, with entry at $45.39 on Monday open. The exit came at $43.75 on Friday close. The result was a loss of 3.61%, or $36.13 on a $1,000 position. The trade lost 3.61% while the NASDAQ rose during the same window, producing negative alpha. The launch catalyst produced no sustained follow-through once broader market volatility from geopolitical headlines took over. This is the exact scenario where our earlier rule about volume confirmation would have helped. The lesson learned is to require both a fundamental catalyst and a volume spike above the 20-day average before committing capital to healthcare launches. The CRA My Account portal lets you view uncashed checks and outstanding refunds in real time. Canadian investors can use it to recover forgotten tax refunds that would otherwise sit idle. Log in with your CRA user ID or banking credentials, navigate to the uncashed checks section, and request a reissue if any appear. This is especially useful for TFSA or RRSP contributors who may have overpaid installments. The Motley Fool Canada Stock Screener allows Canadian investors to filter TSX and NYSE names by dividend growth history and payout ratio. Set the years of consecutive increases filter to 10 plus and the payout ratio below 60% to surface stable TFSA candidates, such as utilities. Results update daily and can be exported to a watch list. If today's momentum strategy interests you, these screeners are exactly how you would surface setups like index inclusions. AutoCanada buys collision repair business Contemporary Coachworks in Calgary. The acquisition adds 2 Calgary locations and expands AutoCanada's vertical integration into higher margin repair services. Add ACQ to your TSX watch list and review the next earnings release for repair segment margin contribution. Eldorado Gold says first copper concentrate produced at Michelvina Bay project. First copper concentrate output marks the transition from development to production at the Saskatchewan site. Review MUX position sizing if you already hold base metal exposure, and consider adding only after confirming sustained production metrics. Samsung chip chief discussed next generation foundry with NVIDIA CEO. The Seoul meeting signals deeper cooperation on advanced chips that could benefit memory suppliers tied to the AI supply chain. Watch HBM-related suppliers on your screener for volume confirmation above the 20-day average before adding exposure. NVIDIA clinches deals with South Korean giants including SK Group. New memory chip partnerships secure supply for NVIDIA's AI accelerators and expand its customer base in Asia. Add NVDA to your options chain watch list for elevated implied volatility around upcoming product cycles. Portfolio performance shows 33 total trades. The win rate stands at 58%, with 19 wins, 11 losses, and 3 break-evens. Cumulative P&L is unavailable. Average return per trade is unavailable. Best trade reached plus 20.11%, while the worst reached minus 11.35%. Current streak is 1 loss. Our AI analysis is learning from volume patterns and adjusting position sizing accordingly. Imagine you bought XIU last December at $38.50, and it now trades at $34.20. Selling locks in a $4.30 capital loss per unit that can offset gains elsewhere. The superficial loss rule blocks you from repurchasing the identical ETF for 30 calendar days. The correct move is to buy a similar but not identical product such as XIC or VCN during the waiting period. After 30 days, you can switch back to XIU if desired, preserving the loss for tax purposes while staying invested. The 2024 inclusion rate increase to 50% on gains above $250,000 makes harvesting even more valuable. Losses can be carried back 3 years or forward indefinitely. The biggest mistake is harvesting in December only. Instead, review positions quarterly and harvest whenever unrealized losses exceed 5% to keep your tax loss inventory full year round. Before we wrap, keep an eye on follow-through volume in AI names tomorrow as index rebalancing effects play out. That's your modern investing techniques for today. Every episode makes you a sharper investor. Subscribe, leave a review, and we'll be back tomorrow with more market intelligence. And before you go, this show is part of the NARA Network, a family of daily podcasts covering tech, science, markets, and more. If you enjoyed today's episode, give Models and Agents for Beginners a listen. Artificial Intelligence Explained Simply for beginners and curious teens. You can explore the whole lineup at naranetwork.com. This episode used AI voice synthesis of my voice. Editorial selection and analysis are my own.
Do you ever wonder where we go after this? Are you high right now? Do you ever get nervous? Do you ever stay awake, counting sheep like all the time? What's your life like? What's your purpose? When's your birthday? What's your sign? Are you down right now? Are you stuck up in the past? Are you still thinking about all the times that you didn't